President Joseph F. Smith said he desired to bear his testimony to the remarks which had been made by President Cannon and President Wilford Woodruff. He wished to be understood that he was heart and soul in unison with them in the views which they had just expressed, both in regard to religious and political questions. He joined in exhorting the Latter-day Saints, whatever they might do in the line of politics, to endeavor to bring them up to the high standard that they should occupy among those who professed to be the people of God, and not descend to the low, mean ways and tricks of the world. If they could not be honest in politics as well as religion, and act as men of God, they were not very good Latter-day Saints. In relation to the authority of the presidency of the Church, there had been a tendency for the last 7 or 8 years among the Latter-day Saints to disregard, to some extent, the rights of the presidency, and the authority of those who had been placed over them. This no doubt had arisen from the fact that the presidency had a great length of time been comparatively out of sight of the people, and the people had been free to act as they pleased. There had been a feeling, more or less, growing up, not only among the people, but also with some who were prominent in the priesthood, which caused them to act as though they considered themselves just about as great, and perhaps a little greater, and that they had just as much knowledge, and perhaps a little more, and equal authority with the presiding authorities of the Church. In some respects, he himself had seen a disregard shown to the council of the priesthood. This was wrong. It was true we had not the prophet Joseph Smith with us in person today, neither had we the prophet Brigham Young, nor the prophet John Taylor. But we had the prophet Wilford Woodruff and his counselors. We had the First Presidency of the Church, organized and acknowledged by the whole people, and by God the Heavenly Father, and the same authority that rested in Joseph Smith and his counselors, and that succeeded them in others, rested here today with the presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And when they essayed to counsel the people, as it was their right to do, it was the duty of the saints to hearken. He prayed that the Lord might guide them in this direction, in this matter, give them to understand that the Church of God was organized upon the earth, that the authority of the holy priesthood was here, and that the priesthood had the right to dictate in all things pertaining to the building up of the Church. God had so far acknowledged the acts of his servants and would continue to do so from this time henceforth, because this was his work. Great responsibilities rest upon the men who had been chosen by the Almighty and appointed to act in these positions, and they felt the weight of the responsibility resting upon them continually. Not only did they feel this, but they had to actually assume the task of carrying the troubles, burdens, and sorrows of hundreds, he might say thousands of individuals in the Church, for there was scarcely a man or woman who had any trouble who did not come to the First Presidency for sympathy and counsel. Sometimes he had seen President Woodruff almost borne down beyond the possibility of endurance by these responsibilities crowding upon him, in addition to those which he had to bear in connections with his presidency over the whole Church. Try to make his burdens light, implored the Speaker. Let the people go to their bishops, to the presidents of their stakes, and to other wise men in Israel to ask counsel, and get them to help bear their burdens, but do not bring so many to President Woodruff. It is weighing him down and shortening his time upon the earth. Keep your troubles in your local organizations as much as you can. God bless this people, and during this conference may the spirit of peace and unity dwell in the hearts of all. He besought the saints to live their religion, to do right, and keep all the commandments of God, that they might know of the doctrine, whether it was of God or of man, and whether the course they were pursuing was acceptable in his sight.